But let's talk about this game. Let's talk about SC Penn State. I think it's interesting. Last year I wasn't a huge fan of Drew Allard. Big kid, young. Uh, they struggled mightily on offense last year. They bring in a new offensive coordinator, and they put up a shit ton of points. And I believe Penn State's ranked fourth in the country.
Yeah, number 4, Penn State. They're favored by 5.5 going to USC with an over under 15.5.
Is that the line now? 5.5. It opened at 4, by the way.
Yeah, 5. I just checked.
And I'd watch it. I lean a little bit towards the over on this game. The weather's gonna be fucking beautiful. And let's not forget that game fucking these guys had against Bowling Green. Bowling Green, a team that was able to pass the fucking ball, by the way. And they were able to pass the ball all over them. So, them already traveling all the way to the West Coast. There's already shit going on a day early. Yeah. They're already bitching about the bus ride and this and that. I'd be careful with the over. See if that defense even shows up. And I think Lincoln Riley's going to have something up his sleeve. Like you need a bounce back game. You need a bounce back game for SC. I mean, this is your bounce back game to get back in the rankings and try and get in somewhere near fucking that playoff spot. I mean, you still have plenty of games left. Like that's a good thing about this year. Like you have 2 losses and you're outside the top 25 right now. But the way your schedule is for a lot of teams, you get right back in, especially they have Notre Dame on the schedule and Notre Dame's ranked. And if Notre Dame keeps winning, that's a win you can pick up. You can pick up this win here. You pick up a win against a top 5 team. Then you get Notre Dame later on. Maybe you pick up that win. That's another win there against another top 15 team. Maybe if you can get close to winning, if you win out, you maybe can sneak back into that 10, 11, 12 spot. Because right now we're looking at the standings or the rankings. There's a lot of teams that aren't trying to take this shit, obviously. I feel like there's a lot of fucking wiggle room like they feel like. Think about it. Last year, we weren't fucking ever thinking Georgia was losing before the title game, the conference title game, or Bama, and fuck, we've had a ton of losses and upsets already.
That's the thing, we're all. I don't know if it's overreacting to these losses. Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, but we're not used to a 12-team playoff.
No,
These are minor bumps in the road, possibly. We could have. I just have a feeling that I love the playoff. I love that. I also love that every game meant something, and they still do. But these teams are going to get better, and I could see Alabama totally getting in the playoffs, and not only getting in, but doing damage.
yeah, no, and yeah, I think so. I think we're here on Penn State and USC. I think this is a big game they're a big game for both teams because we know about Penn State they can't beat Michigan, they can't beat Ohio State. I think this is the year they get Michigan. But you need this win. Penn State's one of those teams I don't think can afford to lose because you have Ohio State coming that you cannot beat, right? And if we look at the rest of their schedule, I don't know who else do they have on it. I think, but you can't. This is one of those games you can't. I'm going to pull it up. So they're at Wisconsin. So they don't have Michigan this year. So they're at Wisconsin, at USC this weekend, and then they have Ohio State at home. They have Washington at home, at Purdue, at Minnesota, and finish with Maryland. So, I mean, looking at it, if you lose this game, you're probably losing to Penn State, to Ohio State, who might have a loss by the time that game rolls around. So this is a game where Penn State can't. You got to have laser focus and be ready to go. But I think it's a great game. I think it'd be a fucking awesome game on a weekend filled with great games.
Stacked, yeah. For me, this is a Penn State. If you can't lose because you might not get to the playoffs here, it's I feel like it's the same situation for both teams because USC is number 4. This is your only shot to get back in, and if you have to beat everyone, and then you have to hope that Notre Dame is still popping at the end of the season and beat them there too.
Yeah, this is a huge game for SC. I mean, it's big for both teams. I think it's a can't lose for both. But, for SC, they got Penn State here at home. Then they have Maryland on the road. and then they got Rutgers here at home. Then they got to go to Washington. They're going to get Nebraska here at home, which is going to be a tough fucking game. And then they go to the Rose Bowl, which will probably be a home game for them, but it's always the fucking rivalry and the bullshit. Doesn't matter how bad either team is. And then they end with Notre Dame at home. So this is a must-win for SC, and I feel like, dude, this is, there's teams that we think can afford to lose. Like Ole Miss, I think they were able to afford to lose, and Bama and Georgia and Texas can even take a fucking loss, and even Ohio State and Oregon could probably take a
Oklahoma?
loss. Oklahoma's trash.
Red River rivalry, man.
but I don't think Penn State can take a loss because they got Ohio State coming and they can't beat them.
Yeah, if Penn State wants to stay top 5, they cannot lose this game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We are Penn State. The Collie's gonna be just bumping, man.
Oh, I think it's be fucking phenomenal.
Dude, Penn State travels. There's Penn State alumni and fans everywhere. So I would have loved to have gone to this game and tailgate at this game. I think it's just gonna be insane, man.
This would have been such a good game because I wouldn't remember the game. I'd be 11:30 just fucking.
Woo!
Whoa!
We are Penn State.
By the way,
Yeah.
blue chip in the over in this game, by the way.
All right.
Blue chip the over in this thing, 50.5.